Chair recognizes Ms. Howard to explain HB 2333.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this is a...
Mr. Speaker, will the lady yield?
Mr. Craddick, for what purpose?
I'd like to ask some questions of the lady.
Of course.
Yes, sir. We're going to lay the bill out and then we'll proceed with questions.
Okay, sorry. Thank you.
Members refer to the explanation of HB 2333. Is there objection to consideration? Chair is none. Chair lays out HB 2333. Clerk will read the bill.
HB 2333 by Howard relating to the establishment.
Chair recognizes Ms. Howard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this HB 2333 is about connecting families with the community providers who offer home visiting nurse services for newborn caregivers. I move passage.
Mr. Craddick, for what purpose?
Ms. Howard, would you mind reading the bill for me?
Reading the bill?
Mr. Craddick, for what purpose?
Read the bill for me.
Read the bill itself?
Yes,
is that what you're asking me?
I'd like you to read it for me.
Okay. A bill to be entitled an act relating to the establishment of the home nursing visitation for newborn caregivers competitive grant program. Be it enacted by the legislature of the state of Texas. Oh, excuse me, I guess I don't have to read the bill. Did you want something specifically in the bill?
Could we get a little better order, please?
I'm sorry?
Mr. Craddick, for what purpose?
Go ahead, Ms. Howard. Go ahead.
What specifically in the bill would you like for me to look at?
I'd like you to read the whole bill to me.
Well, apparently that would take too long for me to read the whole bill, so is there something in particular I can answer for you?
No, ma'am, I want the bill read.
Apparently I don't need to do that. But I am happy to take any questions that you have for me in lieu of reading the entire bill,
Okay,
which was there for anybody to read ahead of time if you wanted
All right,
to.
Ms. Howard, what does line 1 say?
I'm sorry?
What does line 1 say?
An act.
On page 1, what does line 1 say?
Line 1 on page 1 says an act.
Okay, what does line 2 say?
Well, I'll answer that question, and then I would like for you to get to some specific question about this, which I'm happy to answer. This bill and every other bill is on our website. If you had questions about reading the bill, you certainly could have read it before.
I don't have your website, Ms. Howard.
I'm sorry?
I don't have a copy of your website.
No, I'm talking about the Capitol website.
We're on the floor, and it's courtesy to answer questions that a member asks.
Absolutely. And I'm happy to answer questions about the bill without having to read the entire bill.
I don't have a copy of the bill back here, Ms. Howard.
Well, I bet somebody can get you their Service Pro. If you would, please, if you could take that to Speaker Craddick, and then he would actually be able to read it. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you because he was talking to me.
Somebody's going to bring you the Web Service Pro so that you can actually look at the bill.
No, I'll wait till we get the bill.
Okay. There it is.
You're next. I wouldn't get involved. Okay. So tell me what. I'm getting lots of copies back here.
Good. Okay. That ought to help.
The bill analysis as well, sir.
Oh, good. Thank you. So, yeah. So, you have a substitute. Is that correct?
I'll have to look and see here if I do. Let's see here. I am not sure that there's a substitute here. Let me look and see. I see. Yeah, okay. So I do have a substitute here. Yes, sir. What? Okay. Okay, move passage.
Mr. Speaker, I have questions. She hadn't answered them. I think under the courtesy of the House, that
the lady has yielded the floor, Mr.
required
Craddick.
to answer members' questions if they have them.
Understood. The lady has yielded the floor, Mr. Craddick.
Okay.
Would you like to speak against the bill, Mr. Craddick?
Briscoe, we don't need a trash.
Chair recognizes Mr. Craddick to speak
Mr.
on the
Speaker,
bill.
members, I've been here a long time, and if Ms. Howard doesn't seem to have the courtesy of every other member on the floor to answer questions by a member, I think that we need to go through her bill.
Mr. Speaker,
Members will avoid personalities. Mr. Slayton, for what purpose?
this gentleman yield for questions.
Gentleman yield for questions.
I yield.
Gentleman yields.
Mr. Craddick, will you please read me the bill?
Excuse me?
Will you read us the bill, please, sir?
Yes, sir. The bill starts with an act relating to the establishment of the home nursing visitation for newborn caregivers competitive grant programs. Section 1 is Chapter 32 in Health and Safety Code of the Chapter 32 Health and Safety Code. It's amended by adding subchapter G to read as follows. Home nursing visitation for newborn caregivers grant
Mr. Speaker?
program.
Ms. Goodwin, for what purpose?
It looks like the member who asked the question is no longer interested. Can we end the recitation of the bill?
He's standing right there.
He left the
Slayton,
microphone.
Members,
Mr. Slayton,
Chair recognizes Mr. Craddick.
members, now that we're back on the bill, I think we need to look at a comparison of the original bill versus the substitute. And there's a difference in the two bills. Are you talking to me? No. And so the difference is the substitute differs from the original in a minor and non-substantive way. The following summarizes that. So I think you need to be aware of what's in the substitute bill. In that the differences between the introduction of the committee substitute versus of the bill. The original bill required of the House committee substitute to establish and administer the grant program and requiring the executive commissioner of the HHSC to adopt these rules and on the grant program, whereas the substitute requires DFFS to establish and administer the program within its prevention and early intervention services division and requires the commissioner of DFFS to adopt these rules. It doesn't talk about the rules, but it says they should adopt them in the bill. The substitute includes a provision absent from the original requiring DFFS.
Members have order.
So back to where I was. So we need to look at the bill. The bill actually does some stuff that are good for people that have people in nursing homes, and it allows for the establishment of the home nursing visitation for newborn caregivers competitive grant programs. Today, other people can do that, and they can come visit those people at that point. And so what I think the bill needs to be re-looked at, and we need to go back to the original and see exactly what all these changes that Ms. Howard did put in there. And so I think I need to kind of go back and explain to you the background and the purpose of the bill itself. And the analysis is this. You can read that on the bill analysis report, but the purpose is basically that they're suggesting that Texas lacks a streamlined system of care and services to support mothers and infants and resulting in a fragmented network of services that is difficult to families to navigate. I think the problem with the bill is this, and there's a good and bad, but I think the problem is that we're talking about one group of people that have the right to do this today, another group that don't have the right. And I think we need to make the bill where it talks about everyone that has a newborn baby rather than just talk about an individual group. And I think that that's a real problem. I think the bill needs to be fixed so it takes about everyone that has a newborn baby, not just one certain type and people that are in competitive grant programs. I don't think this is fair to the all the mothers that have children that are in this under this purpose in this bill. That's one problem. Another problem is that if you look at the bill and it only talks about this one group, as I mentioned earlier, and not other groups in the state. So therefore, I think that the bill needs to go back and be completely changed where it talks about everyone in the state, not just someone under an individual care program.
Okay.
Peterman,
Speaker.
for what purpose?
Gentleman, yield for a question?
Members, the debate has exceeded 10 minutes and the bill is contested pursuant to Rule 6, Section 24. The bill is returned to the Committee on Local and Consent Calendars.